here is my garden tour. It's August 6th. So, here's my Black Beauty tomato plant. It has been planted in here for all summer, but I think it's just been too hot and it was stunted. It wasn't growing, but the past 2 weeks it's really taken off. I was about to tear it out, but then start growing. There's my tomatillo plant, my strawberry plant. I have these two are jalapenos. I pruned them, I think, way too late in the season, and they just haven't been growing, so that's fun for me. But I kind of have the plan of I'm going to try to overwinter them and just see what that does when it comes to that time, and just see if that next year will help. And I'm going to preface this by my garden this is my first year, and it is very much like I'm just trying to budget things, and so it's not pretty. I covered everything with cardboard, and I mean, it's working like what it's supposed to be doing, and I want all of this stuff to be dying. That's why I covered it. It doesn't look pretty. I'm hoping to make that into like nice soil. Anyway, it was weed coverage. Weeds got through it. It's fine. Here is an overview of my little tomato garden. We're working on the backyard today, and we're gonna do some damage. So here's a little overview. Again, it's not pretty. Need to put those back. I just washed them, but I'm gonna take that pool down, take out the air and everything. And then there's another one. I'm gonna put that up because I like that better. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. Here is one of my pepper plants. It's actually growing some peppers, and it already grew one pepper, but it got eaten by bugs. This whole plant is kind of getting eaten by bugs, but that's okay. So then here's my tomatoes. This one is the one that I am most excited about, and I want it to grow tomatoes so bad, and I look at it every day, probably a couple times a day, to see if any tomatoes are growing on it. This is the Dr. Witches. I don't know how to say it, but I just want, if I get one tomato off this plant, I will be thrilled. It's supposed to make like really big yellow slicing tomatoes. Look how cool that looks. Alright, and then here is, I think this one's a celebrity, and it actually has a couple little tomatoes. I'm so excited. So I was originally pruning these plants, but I kind of decided that they are not, pruning might not be my thing, especially this year, and I'll like clean up with them and keep them tidy and everything. But the one plant that I did not prune is doing the absolute best, and that is this cherry tomato. This guy is a survivor. She like almost froze in the first week. Like, I almost tossed this plant, but I'm so glad I didn't, because it is going wild, and there's already little tomatoes on it everywhere. And this is the one I didn't prune because I was nervous that if I pruned it more, it would not grow as much. But this one's doing great, where these ones, they have been struggling. So they need more support, but yeah. And then my basil plant, everything's just perking up. I think it was so hot that it was just not doing very good. So I try to so right here, And I could be wrong. I don't know everything, but I keep like pinching off, right, like butts out like that because I think it's trying to bolt, but I really don't know about that now that I'm seeing that. So I kind of been regularly pruning these, even though I'm not using them right away. I could save that for water, but so I prune them right above like an armpit where more leaves are, and so it's going to get bushier and bushier. And but I can't wait to make some pesto with this baby because it's seriously like tripled in size. I'm so excited. There's a paste tomato. Here's my coffee. And then this guy I'm so excited for. This is my cucumber plant. And oh, it's so fun to look at. Like, it's just vining and doing its thing. And then there's a bunch of little tiny cucumbers. This is also just taking off. Look at that one. There's a little tiny cucumber right there. I'm low-key hoping that this doesn't grow through on the other side because I don't want my neighbor to have, well, I mean, if they want cucumbers, that's great. Hello, little friend. Oh, I love coming out here and seeing all these bees. Okay, so here is our garden. Oh, I think I already showed this. Sorry. So there's Nova. She looks like a little homeless dog. And then this is my cantaloupe. Also, if I just get one off of here, I'll be happy. Okay. And this is a disaster, but a beautiful disaster. So we were testing sprinklers right there, so we had to take out some of those bricks. There is a sprinkler somewhere in there. Anyway, so here is another cucumber plant. This one is just grown like a little tiny weed. But I just can't help but think that how awesome and how beautiful nature is, and that it just naturally does this. Like, these little tendrils just connect everywhere. My hope is that this grows up this, and it'll either like fall down that way, or I want it to like climb over the fence and then to go down the other side, because I think that'll be really cool. So then here is my bean plant, and this is actually growing. This is just one plant. Like, this is so crazy to me. This is so cool. I love nature. I love just all this stuff. Like, this is a brand new little leaf. I'm a goofball. I sprinkled seeds over here a while ago. I just like threw in a handful of seeds, so those are germinating, which is awesome. Here is my zucchini plant. And it's so funny because I have bugs that keep on trying to eat this. It's my second one I planted. And then here is my butternut squash plant, and I also bought this as a tiny little guy. scissors out here, and I should have. Nature's so cool. I just love it. And then right here we have some sort of fruit tree, and I think they are like little plums of some sort. They're kind of cool. I don't know what they are. I think plums. But here's my little in really bad shape backyard, but it won't be in bad shape for long. It'll be really fun to look back and like see where our backyard is from a year from now, in a couple years. So, yay! Haha, I don't know what that is.